judges will use to score each individual round: clean punching, effective aggressiveness, ring generalship, and defense, with a strong emphasis on clean, effective punching. Jim.
New handlers say he has gotten his education during his professional career. If he were to start over now, he certainly wouldn't have the 5 losses he has, because he's learned a great deal. Here comes Rocky Juarez.
Rocky, of all the Rockies of song and story, Marciano, Graziano, Stallone is the only one with Rocky on his birth certificate. Father named him after Rocky Marciano, and in fact, his 2-year-old son also has a Rocky on his birth certificate.
He thought he was going to be fighting Injun Chi for a featherweight title here tonight. When Chi was injured, this became a title shot setup type bout. The winner of the fight is supposed to get a title shot. What about adjusting to a different opponent for a fighter of Rocky's experience, Emmanuel?
I don't think it's going to be a big problem, because first of all, he's still fresh out of the amateurs, where he used to go into tournaments where you don't know anything about your opponent, and I don't think it's going to be a big problem for him tonight.
Noteworthy fights. The knockout of Espadas, just as impressive as the destruction of Johnny Ranchero Rodriguez, but taken the distance by Zahir Rahim and Hector Velasquez, 2 guys who can box a little bit and who took his punch reasonably well. Now let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Allstate Arena, Rosemont, Illinois, here in the greater metropolitan area of the Windy City, Chicago, where tonight, Main Events, in association with 8 Count Productions, is proud to present an evening of world-class professional boxing for your entertainment. Sponsored by Miller Lite and Sportsbook.com, sanctioned by the State of Illinois Division of Regulation, Professional Boxing Board. This first bout is a co-presentation with Guilty Boxing Incorporated. At ringside, the 3 judges scoring will be Tommy Kazmarek, John McCarthy, Ken Morita. And inside the ring, the referee in charge of the action, Tim Adams. And now, on the line, the WBC interim world title, 12 rounds of boxing in the featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing yellow with black, official weight 126 pounds, professional record 36 victories, including 21 knockouts with 5 defeats and 2 bouts even with 1 no decision. Originally from Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico, but now training and fighting out of Tijuana, the WBC #2 ranked featherweight in the world, Humberto Zurita Soto. And across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black with red, official weight 126 pounds. This 2000 Olympic silver medalist now has a perfect professional record consisting of 23 bouts, 23 victories, including 16 knockouts. He is the fighting pride of Houston, Texas, the undefeated #1 ranked featherweight in the world, Ricardo Rocky Juarez.
Come to the center. Come to the center. Okay, listen up. I went over the rules with both of you fighters in your dressing room. Here are your instructions. Keep your punches up at all times. I want you to obey the commands that's going to be given to you at all times. In the case of a knockdown, the man who is standing, I'm going to put him in the neutral corner where I want him to be, and I expect for him to stay there until I tell him to come out. Good luck to both of you. Protect yourselves at all times. Let's go to work.
Juarez said his plan is to fight Chi next for his belt, then take on Marquez, the recognized featherweight champion. But first, there's business to take care of tonight.
No show. Punch.
In his last fight, Juarez caught Johnny Ranchero Rodriguez with a chopping right hand halfway into round 1, and to all intents and purposes, that was that. The 2-round knockout of Goody Espadas, fashioned with a brilliant left hook. That left hook is his best punch, Emmanuel Stewart. It's a natural gift that he brought into the sport.
And, you know, he reminds me much like a featherweight Joe Frazier. His left hook is that short and accurate. And it's amazing the punching power that he has for to be such a small guy.
In the meantime, he's been hit with about 5 or 6 good jabs.
But what I liked about Soto, he came out right away and started to take control. He initiated the action instead of sitting back waiting.
Soto, as you saw, slightly longer from armpit to the end of the fist, and he starts out challenging Juarez in effect to a jabbing contest. Chopping right hand over the right by Soto. Soto has a very relaxed look in the ring. Merchant asked the question of Rocky Juarez yesterday, what if he can take your best punch? Juarez said, well, it's never about one punch anyway. It's about the accumulation.
Well, this looked like it's starting to shape up to be a very good fight, as both guys are punching very accurate punches, no clinches. And then Juarez, I think, even though he's a featherweight, I think he's pound for pound one of the biggest punchers in boxing.
Knockouts recently. The Mexican fighter comes into the fight off a string of 6 consecutive knockouts, 14 straight wins. Top by Juarez. That's the chopping right that caused so much trouble for Johnny Rodriguez. Rodriguez was so conscious of the left hook. He had his right hand pinned to his cheek. It wasn't nearly as anticipatory of the right hand, and that's how Juarez got it.
Well, Juarez is steadily trying to land that sneaky left hook by leaping off with it and catching the guy at least expecting it. But Soto comes back. Every time he gets hit, he retaliates right away.
4 vicious body shots by Soto. Fired with the right hand. He brings it back upstairs and lands the right to the side of Juarez's head. It was a very good round between the two well-matched fighters. And as we go to Soto's corner where they speak Spanish, our interpreter will be Jerry Olaya.
Bring your hands out, especially your right hand. You gotta use more of your jab. It doesn't matter if you hit him in the gloves, but keep him busy, keep him busy. Don't let him throw any punches at you. But be very careful, be very careful. Very hard, hit him very hard with that left hook.
He knows he's going for the head, so go for the body one time. Make him drop that hand.
Juarez customarily uses the first round to size up his opponent. He was throwing more right hands as the round wore on. Let's see what he found out and whether there's something he can do about it.
CompuBox numbers in round one. Soto 11 out of 70. Juarez 11 out of 32. So Soto by far the more active fighter, throwing twice as many punches, but they landed an identical number according to CompuBox.
You know, I was studying films of Soto, but I never saw him look as sharp as he's looking tonight.
Rising to the occasion, perhaps.
Yes, very, very focused. Very sharp, crisp with his punches.
Has a sturdy jab.
And actually at this stage, he still is dictating the tempo of the fight.
And backing Juarez up.
Good right hand by Juarez.
Counter right landed.
Soto walks right through it.
The power punching seems to be going fairly equal, but the difference seems to be, to some degree, is the jab that Soto has been landing.
Juarez got in a quick left hook inside, not the big left hook that knocks people out. There's a solid right hand by Juarez. Again, Soto takes the punch very well. And Soto firing back 6, 7 punches in return. Good uppercut by Soto with the right hand. Backs Juarez into the ropes.
Juarez has landed a lot of power punches, but never has he been able to really slow down Soto. Soto still is dictating the pace. And every time there's an exchange, he still comes out firing more after the exchange.
And the height advantage is significant enough that Juarez has to jab up just a little bit. So body punching could be critical for Rocky Juarez to try to bring Soto down to size a little bit.
Yes, but you know, still Juarez is still one of the best punchers for one single punching power. And he knows that he can turn this entire fight around with one punch.
I'm not sure if he knows that anymore, Manuel, because he's landed a few pretty solid punches, showed no effect on Soto.
He hasn't really landed the lightning left hook, though. His best punch.
Well, the way it looks, if he lands it, Soto, I think, is going to take it and come right back with those jabs right after every exchange. And actually, Juarez was holding inside that. See there, he comes right back and initiates another exchange after every exchange. Great right up.
Big shots inside by Soto. Right uppercut and left hook. Bothered Juarez. He tries to straighten the damage out with one left hook of his own. But now backs away as Soto has made a statement in the first couple of rounds.
Soto is fighting a very, very confident fight.
Confident enough, perhaps, to have created a little early discomfort for the Juarez family watching at ringside. There's Rocky's grandfather and his mother, his girlfriend Xenia, his son Rocky Jr. That's the girlfriend Xenia right there. Rocky Jr. turning around to look away from us, of course, as the camera tries to focus on him. And Rocky's dad is a chief second in the corner.
Inside, close the gap, throw your combination, and get out of there. You understand? Okay, that's good. Think about this, man. If you're breathing and keep going. Outside or inside, but stay your punch.
Here's the combination at the end of the round that firmly planted the seed of doubt in the Juarez faction.
Round two, a CompuBox landslide for Soto. He landed 24 out of 87, including having thrown 51 jabs among the 87 punches. Juarez only 11 out of 26. Soto is setting the pace, and basically doubling Rocky in punch output, Emmanuel.
Yes, he is. He's really dictating the pace, and seemingly his confidence is growing as the fight moves on.
And he looks like the bigger man.
He's a very, very, very determined man.
Let's remember that Soto was a full-time sparring partner for a year for Eric Morales. So if he's not exactly awed by Rocky Juarez, maybe that's where it begins.
And if his official record tells the truth, he hasn't made the featherweight limit for 2 years prior to this fight. So he's functionally a 130-pound fighter fighting Rocky here at 126. Although, of course, unofficially tonight, they're both well beyond the lightweight limit at 137 and 138.
Unless something happens to change my mind, it looks like this is one of those nights where you have a fighter like Soto where he's just totally determined and well prepared, and it's going to be very, very difficult to turn him around. His confidence is growing, and he's doing everything right at this stage right now.
Yeah, and although he took the fight on only 2.5-week notice, he had been in training for a fight that was scheduled for next week. So he is prepared to go a distance.
And his promotion of this guilty boxer has been really trying to develop a lot of fighters by having them fight regularly.
There's a left hook by Juarez in the middle of the action, and that left hook is the most effective left hook punch that Juarez has landed so far. Rocky starting to throw more, release his hands more, begins to trade jabs with Soto. But Soto continues to get off at a high rate of punch output.
Juarez said he would start to go to the body to chop down Soto if he found that he could take his punch.
Humberto Soto has been very accurate in the first 3 rounds, and once again there he landed combinations to the head of Rocky Juarez.
Watch your head.
Big left hook by Soto.
Soto's a taller fighter, and he's fighting tall, too. He's not losing his height by bending down like a lot of tall fighters are. Everything that Juarez does, he's got to leap up and lunge to do it.
Now Juarez begins to work the left hook repeatedly, bearing out that Joe Frazier comparison that Emmanuel Stewart gave you in round 1. September 14, it's another season of the award-winning Inside the NFL. Join Bob Costas, Chris Collinsworth, Chris Carter, and newly inducted Hall of Famer Dan Marino for analysis and all the NFL films highlights. Wednesday, September 14, 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific.
Circle to the left, circle to the right. Don't go straight back. Now we just...
Soto throws what looks like a really hard punch to the body, followed by that uppercut, and Juarez doesn't seem to know where the punches are coming from next.
Seconds out.
First bad pun of the evening. A rocky start for Juarez in the first 3 rounds against Soto. Now round 4 begins. Juarez 39 out of 108 so far, and Soto has thrown 239 punches. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Okay, Jim. 3 rounds to nothing. 30-27, Humberto Soto. Jim, I gotta tell you something. Humberto Soto, you know, I always talk about ring generalship. He keeps the guy on the end of his punches. Rocky Juarez has got to get inside to punch, to score, to land, to hurt Soto. And that's the only thing he can do. As long as you see Soto doing what he's doing now, getting off first, keeping the jab in the guy's face, beautiful ring generalship, he's scoring and he's winning.
Last minute of round 3, Juarez seemed to understand that he needs to release his hands and throw more punches. Try to make it more of an even fight with Humberto Soto. But of course, When he does so, he creates more opportunities for Soto to land. And Soto's found plentiful opportunities so far. Straight jab, perfectly thrown, lands on the face of Juarez. Little right inside by Soto as well. Crowd begin to wonder if something's wrong with Rocky Juarez, and Juarez lands a big right hand and a solid left hook, and frankly, Soto is walking through those punches.
Juarez isn't doing anything wrong. He's doing everything right. He's just with a very, very focused and well-prepared fighter tonight. If you notice, every time that Juarez jabs, he pulls his head up. And I'm surprised that Soto hasn't taken advantage of it by trying to land a punch just at the moment that he's jabbing, because he pulls his head up every time that he shoots a jab.
Work it out.
We'll see if trainer Humberto Valenzuela spots it.
Work it out.
And instructs Soto to counter that.
He's doing pretty good without taking advantage of it.
Exactly. I'm not sure I'd change a thing. He's dominating the fight against a guy who has been a rising star in the sport. Chopping right hand inside by Juarez, then another right hand by Soto, and Soto backs him off again.
Okay.
Every time that Soto gets hit, it seems like it ignites him, and he comes alive with even more punches. He always ends up the last punch of the exchanges.
What I've noticed is that when he gets hit with a good punch, and he keeps coming so that you don't even realize he has been hit by a good punch.
How are you feeling? Don't exchange punches with him. Don't stay in the ropes. He's dead. He's dead. His eyes are closing. Come on, use your jab 2 or 3 times. He's got nothing. He's too small for you. He's got nothing.
Target for him. You understand? Well, you listen to what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. But when you do that, I want you to give me that little angle. This guy's stalled, angle, get an extension on your jab. Okay? But snap it. Don't leave it out there. I don't want you to throw 100 punches. You're not going to be effective. Give me a tail to be effective with it. Start thinking. Breathe.
Juarez is going to have to start winning some rounds pretty soon. Otherwise, he'll be in the desperate situation of having to win by a knockout.
I think he's did that in a semi-dangerous situation, losing once before and scored it. But tonight may be a little different. This is a very, very focused man he's fighting tonight.
Well, in one of Juarez's most difficult fights against Zahir Rahim in his hometown of Houston, he wound up in a highly unusual fight because the referee couldn't seem to gain control of the fighters inside and constantly warned Zahir Rahim for holding Juarez behind the head, when in fact many ringside observers felt that Rahim wasn't holding him at all. Juarez himself said, to his credit, hey, the referee made it hard for both of us. I didn't really get a rhythm going in that fight either. But this is a different story. This is a situation where there's solid competition going on, and the other guy, far lesser known, is simply getting the better of the star fighter.
Soto came here to win this fight, not to just survive and try to make a good showing. And that determination is shown in his performance.
Soto continues to pound Juarez with the jabs. Juarez jabbing back 4 times. Soto short with the right hand over the top. Juarez short with his own right hand.
And right away, Soto comes back. He wants to always get the last punch in.
Got in the left hook, landed a right hand, drove Rocky into the ropes.
Don't punch.
They trade left hooks, and Soto's gets there first. Juarez arm punching a right hand, sticking the left, and now comes back with a solid right.
Juarez seems to be fighting his best fight at this stage right now. He's looking better, mainly because it seems like Soto has slowed down for a moment. Yep, spoke too soon.
Soto took a little 10-second breather and then came back and traded with Juarez when it counted most.
But I give Juarez credit. When he saw that little slack right there, he came alive and tried to take advantage of it instead of sitting back waiting.
There's a solid right hand to the body by Juarez. Couldn't follow up with the left hook, and now Soto comes on with a couple of body punches of his own.
We're still with Juarez's best round, whether he won it or not.
He's back in the fight. There's Rocky Jr. And there's the Juarez family putting on a brave face in the front row. 93-year-old grandfather rooting for his grandson.
He's down.
Larry Merchant made the point it was Rocky's dad who named him Rocky.
Okay.
Don't retaliate if he hits you on the back of the head.
But it was the grandfather who got him into boxing.
Okay, we're good. We're still good. We still got a few rounds to go.
You've got to be first. You've got to attack. You've got to be aggressive. And work him, work him. Work that jab. You can't have a close round because you're going to give it to him. When you're in close, knock him. Let him go.
Juarez called Soto an Americanized Mexican, meaning he is boxing. He is not willing to take 3 punches to land one of his own. He is a boxer puncher.
Good left hook by Juarez. Soto comes back with a double left hook of his own. Right and a left by Juarez. And a good left to the body. Soto keeps throwing, allowing Juarez to make contact, but making contact of his own in return.
Those are the exact same punches that Juarez has knocked out every opponent pretty much that he felt when he landed those blows.
This is exactly the question that Larry Merchant asked him face-to-face yesterday. What happens if the guy can take your best shot and keep coming? And that's what's turned out to be the case so far in the fight. We're into the 6th. In the 5th round, CompuBox agreed with Emmanuel Stewart that was Juarez's best round. Landing 15 out of 56, those are both high numbers in the fight for him. But Soto landed 23 out of 72.
Now, the habit that Juarez has of pulling his head up when he's jabbing is becoming something that he's getting hit with jabs as he's punching, like doing that.
And you may have noticed that after having given the first 4 rounds to Soto, Harold Letterman gave the last round to Juarez. That's the first round that Rocky has won on Harold's card.
Moscow cut also.
Work it out. Let the hand go. All right, stop punching.
Tall and can take a punch is hard to beat.
Yeah.
And that's what Soto is.
But you know, Juarez is still fighting a tremendous
There's a cut
fight.
under the left eye of Rocky Juarez, beginning to trickle blood. Many in the crowd are stunned by what they're seeing. Juarez is a big enough name that probably most casual fans here didn't realize that Soto could compete with him. Particularly given the fact that the promotion was built around Juarez against Injun Chief.
And Juarez is doing everything right. It's just he's just a better fighter tonight, seems.
Juarez is fortunate that the blood is under his eye and won't bother his vision. Swelling might, though, if he keeps getting hit the way he's been hit so far. Like that. Good left hook by Juarez. Soto looks right at him.
Give me hands. Be on the inside. Inside and jab. He's cut. He's got it. You've got to use, push him back. Keep pushing him back. Be quicker. More jabs.
We need to get spectacular. We need to get back in contention. We need to get back hard away from this guy. You let him try to get into it. Let him get into it. You need to take it away from him. You understand? You need to combination, son.
Take a look at this punch. This is the punch. You see how it slid across the face of Juarez and opened a cut under his eye. Not a dangerous cut. But pretty soon Juarez is going to have to go to war.
CompuBox numbers in 6. Juarez 20 out of 54. Soto 27 out of 93 thrown punches. Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim. 59, 55, 5 rounds to 1. Humberto Soto. Jimmy, I gave the 5th round to Rocky Juarez because Humberto Soto let him inside. In other words, he didn't keep him on the end of that jab. And that's where Rocky's got to be the score. He has to be right where he is now, in close to get off the power shots. But basically, for 5 out of these 6 rounds, Humberto Soto's walking him down, keeping him on the end of the jab, which is great ring generalship, as I said before, and scoring the cleaner shots. 5-1 Soto.
Well, even though Soto Seaman is winning the fight, he's still got to stay alert.
Jim Adams says this isn't a knockdown. I'm not sure why Soto went to his knees. I guess it was a slip. Rocky trying to put a little extra into that left hook.
Yeah, unlike a lot of big punchers, their punching power fades as the fight wears on, but both of these guys are still punching with full power. In particular, Juarez, even though he's maybe losing and he's getting tired, his punching power still is extremely good.
Juarez has had some late round knockouts, so too has Soto. Good body shot by Juarez. Soto strafing him upstairs.
Stay right there. You hit him in the back of the head. You got to stop it. Okay? Stop it. Stay there. Same here. You're retaliating. Stop in the back of the head, okay? That's 2 warnings apiece, okay? Time back in.
2 warnings apiece for hitting in the back of the head. I didn't catch the first round of warnings on that. The brawl is beginning. And even though it's probably necessary for Rocky Juarez at this point, the first exchange belonged to Soto.
Even though they're brawling, they're both still punching with full power with both hands. You know, a lot of times you got to get in exchanges, but they don't have that much power in them. Both of these guys are punching with knockouts in each blow.
How many times have you seen it?
Oh my.
Guy prepares for a named fighter and gets somebody else, and it isn't the same. He's not ready. Rocky Juarez has had tremendous difficulty with Humberto Soto, who is thrown in with 13 days to go.
Juarez has landed his big punches there.
He got his big right hand in. Soto's still standing there, and now a giant left hook by Juarez. And now Juarez has a chance. But only 10 seconds to go in the round.
And Soto is smart. He just
Soto holds on.
That's it. Don't even try to punch. Just tie him up.
Big round for Rocky Juarez. Has the comeback begun?
Might be a 2-point round.
Why are you in there with him? Why are you in the middle with him? You see, that's what happens. You have to attack. You have to be first. Why are you going to exchange punches? Attack, attack, but attack with intelligence. Come on. Maintain that rhythm high.
Do you understand? Okay? You good? Are you good, right? Beautiful. I want to see it, son. Let's go out there and do it. Okay? You can do it.
Hard punch that Juarez takes early in the round. But then, as they say, You got to cut yourself a new piece of bait and fish a little deeper.
There was a big right hand by Juarez that turned it around. You saw the left hook that he landed toward the end of the round. Now let's see what kind of a lift Rocky Juarez has gotten from his big round 7 rally.
Looks like an abrasion under the right eyelid.
What a left hook by Juarez.
I'm just amazed at Juarez's firepower. It's the same as it was the first round.
And Soto decides to come back with body shots and nearly breaks Juarez in half with a right hand to the ribcage.
Why isn't Soto just boxing Juarez after a round like the previous one?
Work it out.
Maybe he likes to fight.
Well, if he sparred with Morales for a year, I guess maybe that's why.
Soto got away with a low blow. Not a heavy one.
Well, at this stage now, Soto need to be boxing because his punching power is nowhere near as strong as Juarez is at this stage of the fight. So he can land 5 or 6 blows and get caught with one punch, and he's going to be in trouble. Juarez is punching too powerful still.
Heavy body shot by Juarez with the right hand.
All right, give me a break. Don't punch.
Another good left hook. Juarez's comeback continues. Soto not nearly as sharp as he was earlier in the fight, but lands a right hand and a little left hook there and seizes the initiative again.
I think that's what he's best to do. He's not going to box, at least try to keep Juarez backing up, because you watch Juarez gets his punching power when he squats and lunges forward. He gets all of his power from his leap. So therefore, you shouldn't let him get set. When he gets set, that's when he's dangerous.
Juarez stepped in. Soto beat him to the punch, landed another left hook that backed Juarez out. Juarez showing great composure after everything he's been through in the fight, picking his spots pretty well.
And this is what Soto needs to continue to do, keep pushing him back, taking advantage of his height being so much taller and pushing over top of him. Because once the Juarez gets set, he loads up, he's still very dangerous.
Crowd wants to chant Rocky, 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 but they can't get it together. Soto jabbing through Juarez's guard.
It looks like Juarez has taken a blow in this round.
But he got in a solid uppercut there and a right cross and a left hook combination to the body. Rocky Juarez flurried in the last 10 seconds and seemed again to win the round. Friday, September 9, look for the next Costas Now. Among the features, a roundtable discussion with Tim Russert, Chris Collinsworth, and John McEnroe.
Breaking to the left, son. You worked on that right break. Go the right hand and break to the left. Go to the body. Oh, shit. What do you want to do? Okay. You know what he said?
When you stop attacking, he attacks. Don't. All right, keep him at a distance. Keep him at a distance. Use combinations. Combinations. You're already throwing 1 and 2 punches. Use 3 punches. Use 4.
CombiBox numbers in 8 may be a bit misleading. Juarez 14 out of 37, Soto 15 out of 85. Soto throwing more than twice as many punches, but it was Juarez in that round who had the quality connects, particularly down the stretch, or so it appeared to me.
Break, break.
Harold Letterman, on the other hand, gave that round to Soto, derailing the comeback, at least on Letterman's card. Round 9 of a scheduled 12. Unbeaten Rocky Juarez, coming in with a record of 23-0-0, 16 KOs, in trouble against unheralded Humberto Soto of Los Mochis, Mexico.
Between rounds, I noticed that Juarez said something to one of his corner guys. He whispered in his ear. But I hope it wasn't saying that he hurt one of his hands. And Soto needs to continue to fight that type of a fight. Just to stay busy, 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 busy.
Well, if Juarez has hurt a hand, it doesn't appear it's the left.
Nope, neither hand.
He's banging the left hook around, just as he normally does.
Step over there. Step over there. You started. No, you started first. Step right here. Stay. No. Take 1 point for him.
Here's a point deduction from Soto.
From Soto. Yeah, from the back of the head.
So there's a break for Juarez, who needs him.
1 point for hitting in the back of the head. Deduct 1 point, yes, for in the back of the head. Okay? You gotta stop. Stop. Stand back in. Punch.
I haven't seen anything flagrant. Have you, Emmanuel?
Nope. Nope. It's a good
left hook by Soto. Bangs Juarez back into the ropes.
It's a good crackling fight.
And Soto seems to want to respond to the point deduction with vigor and aggression to try to win the round and make it 9-9.
And the way he's going, that's what's going to happen. I think he'll end up winning this round, so it'll be a draw round.
Ray on Taveros.
That's good.
Juarez's trainer ever since he was a little boy. Rewrapping the glove. Round 9 is on the table. Let's see if Rocky Juarez can take a 10-8 round after the point deduction. Suddenly Soto looks as alert and alive as he was in round 1. Body shot by Soto after Juarez got in the left hook. Good left hook by Juarez. And again, Soto walks through it. 3 rounds to go.
Come on. He's hitting you with that hook left. Use your right and your left. Bring your hands up a bit.
You get up out that hand, you understand? And let's go, 100%, sir. Straight into the ring and combination. Body press overhead.
Let's see if the punch behind the head, that was called, yep. Clean punch behind the head. Or I should say a clean, dirty punch. And there's the hardest punch of the round. But right back. You know you're in a tough fight when you hit the other guy with your best shot. The next thing that happens, he hits you right back.
CompuBox numbers in round 9. Soto on 19 out of 78. Juarez 18 out of 46. Those numbers similar to what would be the per round averages, although perhaps with Juarez with a slightly bigger edge on average. Left hook doesn't quite get Juarez down, or excuse me, doesn't get Soto down to the canvas. Harold, how do you have it through 9?
Okay, Jim. 6-2, 1 even, 87, 83, Humberto Soto. Jim, while Tim Adams is cleaning off that wet spot on a painted canvas that's making these guys slip, let me say this much. This guy Humberto Soto just keeps walking him down, keeping him on the end of the jab, landing the better shots. He's got Rocky Juarez busted up, and as I see it, he's just not fighting him. Unless Rocky Juarez is a Tyson-esque puncher, I think Soto is winning the fight.
I have the fight closer than you do, Harold.
But on Harold's card, at least, Juarez would need knockdowns or more penalty points to have a chance to win the fight.
You gotta stop. No, you're in the back of the head. You gotta stop it. You gotta stop it. Deduct 1 point.
Another point deduction against Soto for hitting on the back of the head.
Deduct 1 point back of the head.
And the fight tightens up once again.
1 point back of the head. Soto.
And you have to assume that Soto is one more rabbit punch from disqualification now.
Back in.
Chicago referee Tim Adams, very aggressive. Soto responds to penalty point deductions with immediate aggression.
Work it out.
Soto not afraid to throw. Juarez lands a solid right cross. Soto even leaned into it for him, and still, he takes the punch perfectly.
This guy
Soto is just out fighting Juarez, regardless.
he has some chin.
Well, frankly, he looks so much bigger. And it's as though you're watching a super featherweight, junior lightweight, fighting a featherweight. They're not that far apart in weight coming into the ring, but Soto just appears the bigger, stronger man. Six minutes left in the fight after this round is over. More and more it appears Rocky Juarez is going to have to rescue his unbeaten record with something big. Because an extremely determined Humberto Soto has come here tonight to fight the fight of his life.
Yes, he is. And at this stage, he's really impressed me.
I imagine he's impressed Rocky Juarez as well.
You've got to knock him. You've got to knock him down. Come on the inside. Throw it to his chest. When you go in, throw it all. Attack the body hard.
You don't have to do it like Rocky's supposed to do. You understand? Combinations, like everything goes. Don't want to.
Know that.
Well, if you're going to be a strict constructionist of the rules, that was a clean, dirty punch.
Absolutely. Textbook rabbit punch. Rocky Juarez only threw 45 punches in the 10th round. Soto threw 83. Question becomes, can Juarez somehow pour it on in the 11th and 12th rounds? Does he have a burst of energy in him somewhere? That's what it would take, it appears, to come back and win the fight.
It's not easy to overcome two-point deductions. It can lead to all sorts of, shall we say, confused scoring.
It's impossible to overcome disqualification, so Soto has to be certain he doesn't hit Juarez on the back of the head or the neck again.
But what I mean by that, Jim, is if officials gave Juarez one of those rounds, then it becomes a two-point round.
Yep.
And it changes the complexion of the scoring.
That's why Soto was working so concertedly after both point deductions to see to it that he was winning the rounds.
And in both of those rounds, I think I gave the rounds to Soto, and then by taking a point away, my scorecard, it ended up making it even.
I'll tell you what, Juarez has shown tremendous guts here.
Yeah,
He's fighting his heart out to try to win it.
I'm just as impressed with Juarez, even though he may be losing, as I am with Soto. I mean, he's been put to a test that he's never been to in his professional career, and I mean, he's doing everything as he can still to try to pull this fight out. He has never given up.
Two of the judges who are judging the fight are well-known to boxing fans. Tommy Kasmarek from New Jersey, veteran judge, been in a lot of big fights. John McCarthy of Illinois, not all that well-known. Ken Morita of Japan. Well, you may recall that he was one of the judges in Tyson Douglas, and to his enormous discredit, he had Tyson winning. Good left hook to the body by Juarez. But Soto long ago established that no one punch is going to knock him for a loop.
Juarez is punching with a lot of power all over again and a lot more excitement than he has in the last few rounds.
That's a sizzling left hook to the body. And Soto's dancing after he takes that punch.
Still better beware because Juarez is still punching with a lot of power.
More and more, Juarez goes to the money punch, trying to set up left hooks, lead with left hooks, just double and triple and pour the left hooks on.
I'm giving this round to Juarez. This could be a very close fight.
Juarez seemed to win the round with that barrage of left hooks.
Yep. He's got to throw more punches. Please throw more punches. Now listen. Listen, I think we're up. But we've got to throw punches. We've got to throw punches. Don't exchange punches with him there. You're catching his punches. He's going to come out with everything.
Peter Pettipunch go out the window right now. You understand? Let's go for all the best you can. Did you hear what I said, bro? Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what Ray said? What did Ray say? Give it all I got. And give it all you got, son.
You've got to give it all. Give it all. Throw everything. But be careful. Be cautious.
This could be a heck of a 12th round. Rocky Juarez threw his high output for the fight, throwing 62 punches in the 11th round, landing 22. Soto was 17 out of 85. Both trainers told their fighters to go out and expend every available ounce of energy. Juarez starts the round with a big left hook. Just to recap, the early portion of the bout dominated by Soto. On Harold Letterman's card, he won 5 of the first 6 rounds. Rocky Juarez began to mount a comeback, a spirited rally built on some left hooks. And then the rally was aided, or so it appeared by 2-point deductions from referee Tim Adams against Soto for hitting behind the head. So if Juarez has won 3 or 4 rounds, add the point deductions, he's in the fight. Big left hook by Soto. Juarez hasn't thrown since the big left hook. Soto's the aggressor again. Solid jab by Soto. Juarez needs to find some offense. Gets in a left hook. Not once has he hurt Soto with his left hook, and he's landed several solid shots. Humberto Soto, raised in a cardboard shack in tiny Los Mochis, Mexico, told his manager and trainer that if they could get him a fight like this, he thought he was ready to capitalize. This despite 5 previous losses in his professional career.
Close, but you better watch with Rocky. Rocky's still punching very, very hard at this stage here.
Soto's no slouch himself.
No. He doesn't have that kind of punching power. So far, my scorecard, I have it 1 point different when you consider those deductions.
Soto was brought from Los Mochis to train in Eric Morales' gym in Tijuana. Cried for days the first time he was away from his home.
Good right hand by Soto.
Brilliant right hand.
Another good right hand by Soto.
Another straight right hand right on the cheek of Rocky Juarez. A year spent as Eric Morales' chief sparring partner hardened Soto. and gave him the confidence which he has shown in there tonight. This fight can go either way as they come to the final bell.
That's a prize fight, folks.
Boxing is back in Chicago. Both fighters circling the ring to celebrate. Soto's celebration lasts longer. Harold Letterman gives the 12th round to Soto. I think I would have also. Final score on Letterman's card, 115-111, upset win for the unheralded fighter from Mexico.
I have it much closer. My scorecard is so messed up with minuses and pluses. I'm trying to figure it out here.
Tommy Kazmarek out of New Jersey scored 115-113 for Winky Wright in the second Mosley fight. Has had a lot of other big fights as well. That scorecard fairly representative of the fight. John McCarthy from here in Illinois scored last week's fight between Ricardo Mayorga and Picarillo for the title that had previously belonged to Javier Castillejo, the fighter you're going to see in the next fight against Fernando Vargas. Mayorga now holds that title. And 70-year-old Ken Morita of Japan had Mike Tyson leading Buster Douglas 87-86 through the 9th round in Tokyo, and that is not a positive credential. Michael Buffer has the numbers. Let's go to him for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. John McCarthy scores at 114-113. Tommy Kazmarek, 114-112. Ken Morita scores at 114-113. All to the winner by unanimous decision, Humberto Zorrito Soto.
A well-deserved upset victory for an unheralded fighter who came in and carried the fight to a big-name opponent from the opening bell. And here's a new name to reckon with in the featherweight division, Emmanuel.
Humberto Soto.
Absolutely.
A popular victory as well.
Popular victory here in the arena, where fans who came, no doubt, excited to see Rocky Juarez, wound up spiritedly supporting the fighter who scored the stirring upset. Final CompuBox numbers, and these will weigh heavily in Soto's favor. Landing 40 more punches, throwing, look at that, 435 more punches than Juarez threw.
I had him winning by a point, Jim.
Yep.
Reflecting the 2-point deduction. It was a solid win. Who knows where Juarez goes from here?
Well, Emmanuel, let's answer that question. How destructive an experience is this for a young star fighter like Juarez? He was 23